So I was really intrigued by this line in the reading. Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night, and went to Egypt. We don't know really what happened next. So I envisioned Mary writing a letter from Egypt to her cousin in Nazareth. Dear cousin Elizabeth, it's been a crazy few weeks. Joseph finally asked me to marry him. I was starting the show, and he wanted to make things official. I was hoping to be home in Nazareth for the holidays, but we had to obey imperial Roman laws and travel to Bethlehem to register. Damn government bureaucracy. There was no place to stay. We had to rent a cave at the edge of town that was used as a stable. It kept us warm. It was fine. We still thought we'd make it back to Nazareth for the birth, but hey, these babies, they have minds of their own. But what a beautiful boy. He is so precious. New life is a miracle. Nothing short of a miracle. It was a rough pregnancy. I'm just glad it's over. We named him Jesus, after our uncle. Joseph and I were wondering what this tiny baby would someday grow into: an athlete, an actor, a doctor, a dignitary, perhaps a prophet or a politician. I swear, we were just thinking about that, and then we heard a knock on the stable door. Then these raggedy-looking shepherds came in and started singing. They were saying our baby is going to save humanity or something. Then as soon as they arrived, they were gone. They left hooting and hollering down the road. I think they had one too many. Then, get this. A few days later, 3 men, all dressed up with colorful cloaks, rode up on camels bearing gifts. They actually bowed as if our child was royalty. It was all pretty strange. Hey, but I'm not complaining. The gold they gave us really came in handy. We really needed to buy some more diapers. And he is growing so fast, we're going to need some more new clothes soon. They also gave us frankincense and myrrh, which helps counteract some of the odors we're experiencing. But then, we had to leave for Egypt. I mean, I was really upset. Joseph thought Herod was out to get us. Now, Joseph has always been a little paranoid and one of those conspiracy theorists. He told me he had a dream about Herod. Okay, I had a dream the other night that I could fly. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump off a mountain. But I ended up agreeing with him because it has been a few really strange days with those shepherds and the fancy guys dressed up. Plus, we all know Herod. He thinks he's king, but he's just a puppet of the Romans. He wants everyone to call him Herod the Great. But people do that only out of fear. He's Jewish, but he only performs religion. He doesn't really follow the Torah. He fakes his religion to appease the masses. I see right through it. It's always all about him. Narcissists rise to power all too often. I don't trust him one bit. He demands everyone be loyal to him and him alone, not me. I am loyal to God and God alone. Herod had a big building campaign to extend the temple. He didn't do it for the glory of God. He did it to glorify himself. All he wants is attention. I'm sick of it. You know how many palaces he has? None bigger than Herodium, which of course he named after himself. It's the one on the edge of the desert on top of a built-up hill. Rooms are decorated with mosaics and elaborate frescoes of important Jewish leaders of the past. Everything is feathered in gold. It's disgusting. He actually tore down part of his own residence just so he could build it up bigger. At the same time, our people don't have food to eat and can't afford medical care. Herod is not unlike other leaders who are insecure, who have cold hearts and can only think of themselves, who put their name on everything, who demand absolute loyalty, and who do not look out for the good of others. Anyways, Joseph insisted we leave Bethlehem in the dark of night so nobody would follow us. I wanted to first head towards the sea, but he insisted we head toward the bleak, windswept desert of midwinter. We looked for certain landmarks, like the next oasis, to hang a right on. Or sometimes we tried to follow a caravan, but we got lost several times. Well, and Joseph, he refused to stop the donkey to ask for directions. We knew we were close when we saw the Great Pyramids, and before we knew it, we got to the Nile River and we rested. But we needed to find a place to live, but there were no places available. We went all over asking, and once they saw our baby, the way we dressed a little different and talked a little different, no one would rent to us. But one kind Egyptian man rented us a small mud brick side room. Sometimes the most modest things in life bring us the most joy. We've made it into a home. Our gracious hosts showed us around where the well was and how to get firewood. He felt so bad that there were not better accommodations available. Our landlord spoke a slightly different dialect, and he was difficult to understand at times, but he explained something about a Bedouin Traders Association convention going on and that everything was booked for now. Our landlord invited us to his home for dinner. As night came, we sat on the ground within his earthen home. He brought his livestock in from pasture into an enclosed area separated from us by just a thin cloth. We could smell and hear the animals. The landlord didn't do things like we did back in Nazareth, and I really preferred other lodging, but we felt safe and cared for. The open room, sitting on the floor, eating simple but satisfying foods, hearing the livestock will be great memories for us. Our kind landlord warned us that a new governor had risen to power that hated foreigners. The governor started to blame everything that was wrong on people like us. And as it turns out, there was no Bedouin Traders Association meeting. People wouldn't rent to us because we were Jewish. Soldiers were going up and down the tiny streets, spears and swords drawn, faces covered, demanding to see papyrus documents from people who looked different. We heard rumors that they would separate us and throw us into prisons in a different country. We kept a low profile. Joseph found some work as a carpenter, though the government does not want us here. Most people we have encountered have been brilliantly kind. We have not lost hope. We know most people are good. We will raise our child in the ways of love. For we know that we have each within us a gentle, holy child who needs nourishment, room to grow, and reminders of what really matters in life. When our shared humanity shines, the wars against refugees will end. We will return to peace. Tyrants do not live forever. Truth will prevail. But it's up to us to see the sacred in each other's soul. Then, and only then, can we befriend the foreigner, find the lost, heal the broken, feed the hungry. Then, and only then, will the light of this season be born again. Love, Mary.